Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fifth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's final video. So day 10, you're going to take us around 23rd of August. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles, and may run to around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFS V2 at the end of video for September. And that's going to be an interesting look, and that'll be right at the end of the video, of course. Now, being such a busy day at GavsWeatherVids today, so we started off with our 7 AM forecast. We did a little update for Green Man Festival coming up next weekend. ECM doing a 42-day forecast, and January Friday has been released today as well. This is the final video of the day, and then I'm going to go and collapse in a darker room this afternoon, I think, after pushing out all of these videos over the past 2 or 3 hours. If you enjoyed the content on the channel, then please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. I've got to put around 50 subscribers now, that's all. 50 subscribers to get to 11.8k. So subs moving quite quickly. Please give us a sub if you'd like to do that, and tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. Thank you so much for doing this for GavsWeatherVids. Right, let's turn off the webcam. We're going to start off in the tropical Atlantic. So we've got a disturbance area and a tropical depression. Let's deal with the disturbance area first of all. This red X just here. That is disturbance 1 with a 70% chance, now a high chance of becoming a tropical cyclone within the next 48 hours and also the next 5 days. They're saying that with this at National Hurricane Center, a small low-pressure system located about 1,000 miles east of Lesser Antilles is producing disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity primarily west of the center. Environmental conditions are expected to gradually become more conducive for additional development, and a tropical depression is likely to form within the next couple of days. The system is forecast to move generally westward at about 20 miles per hour across the tropical Atlantic, reaching portions of the Leeward Islands Saturday night and the Virgin Islands on Sunday. Interest in these locations should monitor the progress of this disturbance. That could well be our next tropical storm slash hurricane. We've also got tropical depression Fred. Fred is giving maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 1,013 millibars, and it is moving west-northwestwards at 10 miles per hour off the north coast of Cuba. If we click on Fred and go here, we can see that Fred is going to power up, by the look of it, back to a tropical storm. So at the moment, it's tropical depression Fred. Within the next few hours, back to a tropical storm. And then moving up towards Florida. Of course, we talked about this in the videos over the past couple of days. Going to give a hit to the Florida Panhandle over the weekend, and then moving into the Gulf of Mexico and heading onto the Gulf Coast of Alabama and Georgia as we get through into the early part of next week, then moving northwards and kind of dissipating probably, but still as a tropical depression moving northwards in towards Tennessee, for example. So it's all starting to happen in the tropical Atlantic. We are expecting quite a big hurricane season. I'll re-emphasize that. We've had a lull in activity, but it does look as though things are beginning to liven up. And of course, this has like the great unknown within the weather for us, because when we've got these storms and hurricanes and things, it's all blowing up in the tropical Atlantic. You know, it has knock-on effects downstream in terms of a model output, and so model reliability will be reduced while all this is starting to go on, and especially as things get more and more active probably over the next few weeks. So just keep that back in mind with any model output, that whilst we've got a busy hurricane season, you know, while we've got a lot going on in the tropical Atlantic, there will be added levels of, you know, uncertainty within the model output. Right, so GFS, upper air temperature and precipitation. Of course, we'll keep you updated with what's going on in the tropical Atlantic and whatnot over the coming weeks and next couple of months. Right, so this is how things are currently looking with the upper air temperatures and precipitation ensembles from the GFS model for Middlesbrough. So red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Middlesbrough. We're starting off actually a little bit below average at the moment. And we're going to keep the upper air temperatures generally average to a little bit below over the next week, really. So there's no sign of anything particularly warm coming up in the next week. Although in the sunshine by day, it will feel quite pleasant, but by night, could be rather chilly. Now, we're going to the final sort of week to 10 days of August. That's this period just here. And we are seeing increasing signs of a warm-up now for this last week of August. So I think gradually we're beginning to firm up on the possibility of quite a warm final week or so of August. And it may actually get quite hot. There are some ensemble members here that do get pretty hot, I have to say. So it's a possibility, but summer isn't done with us just yet. And I think the chances, the prospects of a very warm, possibly hot final week to August are increasing. Precipitation-wise, there's going to be quite a bit of dry weather around. It's not going to be completely dry. There will be showery bursts coming and going. But overall, the next couple of weeks looking relatively dry, actually. If we have a look at London, you see there are several really hot outliers. That's Middlesbrough up in Northern England. There are several really quite hot outliers that are there in these final days of August, this period just here, including the midnight GFS operation run. That's the thick green line just there. But it's not alone. There are several other ensemble members, albeit outliers, but there are several other ensemble members that are really lifting those upper air temperatures up. Been a very, very, very hot southern European summer. Of course, Mediterranean has been baked for several weeks. Spain, Italy, Greece, very, very, very hot throughout Mediterranean. So if we do get wind into south, not necessarily saying that we will, but if we get wind into south and start pulling the air up from Spain, then there is the potential for some very, very hot weather there. It's just whether we tap into it or not. Of course, the further on you get into August, the harder it becomes to tap into extreme heat. But it's only possible even in September. It's only a few years ago, 2016, that in the middle of September we were seeing temperatures of around 34 degrees. Well into the 90s Fahrenheit. So even well into September, you can get 90 Fahrenheit heat. Again, not necessarily saying that we will get that kind of heat, but if we get the high pressure set up in the right position to tap into winds from Spain, it's a possibility. By the way, the rest of the London ensemble does look quite cool for the next week to 10 days, but there is clearly this warming trend going on in the last week of the month, and it does include several really quite hot outlier members. A lot of dry weather on the London ensemble as well. Temperature anomalies on the 13th to 21st of August around to a little bit above average. Any sort of push up in the temperature is beyond this week, really. And the precipitation anomaly from the 13th to 21st of August is rather significantly drier than average. Latest wind flow map from earthandoldskool.net shows that low pressure is in control of the weather sitting to the northwest of Scotland and bringing in these westerly winds. Right, so let's start going through some chart data, shall we? So I'll put webcam back on, and I'll return. We'll have a look at the UK Met first of all. So it's how the UK Met is looking for Monday, when we've got low pressure to our east, high pressure to our west. We're bringing in wind from a cooler and showery northwesterly direction. Now through to Tuesday and on into Wednesday, basically keep high pressure centred to our west, which keep winds in from the northwest. So will be relatively dry up to the middle of next week. Perhaps a few showers in the north and east, but relatively dry conditions to the middle of next week. But it will be quite cool with winds in from a northwesterly direction. Moving up towards this time next week, you start to see a repositioning of the high pressure. It starts to build in much more over and to the north of the country. Up to this point, nothing particularly warm, but this is where we start potentially bringing in a wind from more of an east-southeasterly direction. You can clearly see the high pressures begin to reposition to centre over the top of the country, which implies, if we get wind into south, we could start bringing up some hotter air from the south. That's as far as we get to with the UK Met. Right, let's have a look at GFS midnight run. I'm not going to be able to show you V6Z. It has updated. I think there's been some sort of outage at NOAA so far with the 6Z. So just a GFS midnight run. Today. This is how it's looking for Monday. Again, rather cool, showery northwesterly winds on Monday. Still rather cool and showery on Tuesday as well. We've got low pressure in the North Sea on Wednesday. Could bring some more general showery rain to eastern parts of the country. Driest in the west and still pretty cool with winds in from a northerly direction. Thursday through to Friday, we get this ridge starting to build in from the southwest, very similar to what UK Met is doing up to the end of next week. At this point, there's nothing particularly warm showing up or hot. It's just quite average, really, but is gradually turning drier as we lose the showers and that northerly wind as week progresses. Into next weekend, which is the 21st, 22nd of August, the high pressure begins to strengthen then. Ridge strengthens over top of the country. We start to pull up some warmth into the south. Probably see temperatures getting into mid-20s Celsius by then. And then as we go on into the final week of August, this is into the extended range beyond day 10, 24th of August. We've got quite a deep low out to the west of the country that is putting this ridge under pressure, but ridge actually holds its ground and strengthens further in the extended range. So between the low to the west and the ridge to the east, we start to pull up some very warm to hot air from the south. There's the upper air temperatures there for Wednesday, the 25th of August. We bring the plus 15 Celsius ice firm northwards into England and Wales. That's getting the temperatures back into the low 30s Celsius probably with that. And then we go on into the very end of this GFS run. The high pressure again maintained over the country, very warm to hot conditions, particularly for England and Wales, and particularly so in the southeast corner. Never quite makes it with heat up to Scotland. As I say, we're late August, so it gets harder to push that heat, you know, further and further north. Nevertheless, I suppose it does warm up the Scotland, but the real heat is down across southern, southeastern parts of the country. We finish up with a GFS midnight run looking like that. High pressure just beginning to slip south a little bit and starting to pull in something cooler and fresher from the North Atlantic. Yes, the upper air temperature still looks hot in the southeast, actually. We're not all that far from the plus 20 Celsius ice firm. I'll show you that. There's plus 20 Celsius ice firm just there across northern France, so we're not far away from it. But actually, cooler air is beginning to push in from the North Atlantic there on Sunday the 29th of August. As I say, it is a possibility we might get some very hot weather in the last week of August. We've just got to wait and see where that high pressure sets up in the right position to pull up wind from the south. No 6Z, so we'll move on to a GM. If you're enjoying this video, please can you smash your like button, make sure you are subscribed to our channel. Thank you so much everybody for doing that, and drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Right, this is how GM is looking then for Monday, rather showery and rather cool with northwesterly winds. Into Tuesday and Wednesday, the low pressure moves towards Denmark. And again, we're pulling in quite a cool and showery northerly wind there around the middle part of next week. Especially at east end, should be mostly dry with the ridge out in the west. Second half of next week, we get rid of that low pressure and we start to build this ridge over the top of the country. So the showers ease off and temperatures begin to warm up a little bit for the second half next week. And then into the weekend of 21st, 22nd of August, the ridge strengthens further over the country and pushes northwards, and this will start to bring up much warmer, even hotter air from the south. So by day 10, with GM look like that, it's the 23rd of August. And yeah, high pressure is dominating weather centred over just to the east of the country, pulling in the wind from a southerly southeasterly direction. It's quite a deep area of low pressure in the Atlantic that's putting this ridge under a little bit of pressure. That's how the upper air temperatures look. Really quite warm. Not as warm as a GM, but nevertheless, plus 15 Celsius ice firm is getting close to southern England. So again, that implies a return of summer around days 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we've got the ECM WF looking like this on Monday. Again, rather showery with those northerly winds and northwesterly winds a little bit cool as well. That carries on into the middle of next week. We maintain that northwesterly flow. Most of the showers in the north and northeast, the driest weather will be in the west. And then into the second half of next week, again, we just lose that trough and we begin to raise the heights over the country, very much in line with the unmodel output around sort of days 8, 9, 10. We start going back to high pressure. That's how it looks as we get to day 10, which is Monday the 23rd of August. 1030 millibar area of high pressure centred right over the top of the country. That's returning us to summer. The upper air temperature is a little bit reduced compared to the other model output there at day 10, but it's much of a muchness. So if we could go on any further, I suspect we'll find that high pressure just easing a little bit further eastwards, probably towards Germany and the Low Countries, and bringing up hotter air from the southeast. So I think the chances of it turning, at very least, a lot warmer into the final week of August are increasing, and we may in fact be in for, well, who knows, one last heat wave, but we may be in for sort of a heat wave at some point through the final week of August. Right, this is how the precipitation type forecast is looking from Tameteo.com based on that ECM run. So here we go then, showery in the north and in the northwest over the next few days, mainly dry in the south and in the southeast. There will be showery bursts coming and going though into the early part of next week. It's not really until late on next week, but we finally start to reduce the showers. I mean, this is like over a week away now. This is the 20th of August, and we're still seeing these showers, especially so in northern East area. So next week is quite showery and relatively cool much of the time. It's around days 8, 9, 10 that we finally build in that ridge, settle things down, so more or less universally dry by the time we end that ECM run on the 23rd of August, which is day 10, because we're under that big ridge area of high pressure. Right, let's have a look at the options on the table within the ECM ensembles for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office VSVM. This gets us to the 23rd of August. 17 members of the ECM ensembles, including the control and the operation run, have high pressure right over top of the country. So we're high and dry, fine and warm. Day 10. 15 have high pressure over slightly to the east of the country. Again, mainly dry, fine and warm, or very warm with that. 8, I think that is, with high pressure in control, but just a little bit to our west, so that's still maintaining that sort of cooler northwesterly flow. 6 just here with a ridge of high pressure through the country. Then 5 with high pressure just to the northwest of Scotland. Some slightly lower pressure to our southeast. That's going to be perhaps the coolest of the options. Could be bringing in a wind from the northeast and might be a little bit showery in the southeast corner. It looks like high pressure is taking over though by day 10. And in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. It would get us to the 28th of September. 21 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure just to our north. And again, around that high pressure, we're bringing in a wind from the east or the southeast. Dry and very warm. 16 with high pressure slightly to our west, low pressure over Scandinavia. Going to be mainly dry, will be a little bit cooler though with that, winds coming in from the northwest. And 14 with high pressure, let's say more or less centred over the country. So that looks mainly dry and potentially very warm as well. So high pressure, in the ascendancy, very much in pole position as we go into the final week or so of August on all of today's model output. And talking of high pressure, finally we're going to have a look at the CFS V2 700 millibar high anomaly forecast for September, and that is also high pressure dominated today. So CFS is now indicating an area of high pressure to be centred over UK and Ireland and Northern Europe during September. There's quite a bit of low pressure around Greenland and Iceland, but we're locked into high pressure there for September on this CFS V2 run, which means we get a warmer than average September with above average temperatures and no signal for precipitation, but obviously with high pressure right in over top of the UK, you'd expect quite a dry month really, and across much of Northern Europe as well. So a warm, dry September being indicated by the CFS V2 today. These charts are changing daily though, so there's a lot of uncertainty about this September, as there always is for the month of September, but we shall see how it all works out, and all will be revealed, of course. Right, so if you enjoyed this video and all of today's videos, then please can you smash the like button, make sure you're subscribed to our channel, you'll be able to see future weather content if you do that. Tell your friends, family, everybody else to subscribe. Thank you so much for doing this for GavsWeatherVids. So drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Got to put on around another 50 subscribers to get to 11.8k. So 11.8k is coming into view quite quickly at the moment. Please give us a sub and tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. Right, we're done with today's videos and content. No live stream tonight, but I can tell you the Friday night live streams will be coming back in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, the Friday night lives will be returning for Season 2 in a couple of weeks' time. I think that'll be probably the 27th of August. We'll do the first one, and then we'll try and keep them going right way through the autumn and the winter. So a couple of weeks, and we'll be back live streaming on a Friday night. But for today's videos and content, that's all for now. Tomorrow, we're going to have a 7 AM broadcast, we'll have a week ahead broadcast, have a 10 to 14 day, and we'll begin the countdown to the bank holiday weekend, last bank holiday of the summer, of course. You enjoy the rest of your Friday, and from me though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.